I had to alter the waste pipe for the sink. I put it in and forgot that the cistern outlet came down at the same place, so basically they hit one another. I had to put this joint in, and to be honest it wasn't easy at all. That's how close it gets. I had several goes at it. That's one. There's another one. Seems to be okay now. I've tested it, doesn't leak. That's that bit done. I've got to fit the tap, and I've also put a little bit of plasterboard on there. Taps on. The waste is in for the toilet. Flexies. The hot water pressure is not as good as I hoped, but there is 2 isolators in it, and this is actually only slightly below the outlet for the hot water tank, so it's adequate. This is the last piece of plasterboard going in. I find the slightly out of true, but that's not unusual. I've got to cut out the niche and the button for the flush. Update. This large patch here, when I was checking, I noticed that here there was a bulge, and that when I checked with the spirit level, the bulge went all the way up where the 2 plasterboards come together. This had been previously hidden by tiling, so I decided to try and sand it down, and I've sanded it down so far on the plaster, but it wasn't enough, so I attacked it with a multi-tool. As you can see, we've filled the void with easy fill plaster to level it off, and I've started tanking the niche. This is the stuff that I've got, which is Tile Master tanking paste, along with some fibre matting that was left over when I did the ensuite. But I have tonight been and bought the replacement bath. I've decided to just go for normal 1700 by 7 bath. She's a mess. Nothing particularly. But this is from Wixies and was actually £74 including VAT. I haven't bothered with the side because my intention at the moment is that I might put a plywood side on and tile it. metal frame. Nice bit of angle iron, so that's all for it out any road. I think I may have passed the point of no return with the bath. Tomorrow I'm going to cut off the copper pipes up to the tap. Update from yesterday, as you can see, cut out the taps. I haven't got enough 22mm pipe to do it, so I've done round here in 15. I'm going to cap that off and test it, see if there are any leaks, and pick up some 22mm and do the top part a little later in the week. I've been measuring up round the room for tiling. I've decided that I'm going to tile halfway up, and that wall, which I was going to do a step tile, I've now decided is just going to be one complete tiled wall, as is that one, but this is going to be half, and here is going to be half as well. I'm going to take the radiator off. What I wanted to decide was where the top of the tiles come along, and then come along here, round, 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 round. This part isn't finished because I haven't put the bath in yet. Anyway, I started to measure up and I thought, well, it's got to meet up with these tiles here, so I put the spirit level on this, on the windowsill, and it slopes down by about 1/4 of an inch, probably over 5mm. And you could tell because the bottom of the window here was perfectly level, but you could see it here, and then it just basically went down, so you could see the foam, expanding foam that the window fitter had put in at the bottom. So I decided before I go any further I'll fill it up. I've got nothing really to fill it up with other than easy fill plaster. So I'm hoping that that's going to be good enough, and what I've done is battened up to the level with these pieces of wood here, and basically mix a load and then just try to trowel it in as level as I can. It's quite difficult because plaster being so sticky, as soon as you put anything down to try and measure the level front to back, as soon as you pull it up, it pulls a load of the plaster up with it. So in fairness, I've taken the best guess on the assumption that even if it isn't true, which I don't expect it will be, I can build up the tiles with adhesive to get them reasonably level. As you can see, the white is the plaster. Which gradually thins out to nothing at this end. Just to show you the levels, this is still soft. It's now level. The water in the background is me draining the radiator, if you can hear it. it's done, and we'll wait for it to dry and then move on to the next stage, which will be starting tile. I think this wall, this is the middle of the wall. I've measured it out, and there's I can't remember the exact measurements, but it leaves a reasonable amount of tile to cut each end. I could start from a full tile, but just leave about that much at one end, and that's going to look a bit silly. I was going to start putting the skirting board on, but I want the flooring, which is only about 4mm, to go underneath it. So I think it'd be better, what I'm going to try and do is work out from the top of the skirting board, which is 100mm, work out where the first full row is going to go and put a batten across, and then go up